Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look here at Phantom Coin, seeing what's going on. Got a lot of requests for this, and I can totally see why we are overextended up to a 9. Due for a correction, but we're going to double check and verify if that's even a possibility. We do have a fair value gap here between roughly 34 and 36 cents. That could get filled with a recent level of liquidity was swept. Okay, so we got that kind of taken care of. Just to keep in mind, these previous resistance levels turn into support levels, so 0.382 could very well be our bouncing point. All right, so if you're new to the channel though, not a financial advisor, love to teach people to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. If you want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is a site, link down below, and we'll go ahead and get you on the right track there. Also, be sure to check out Bitunix. It's a phenomenal exchange that we recently partnered with, mainly because they offer no KYC, no VPN requirements for my US Canadian members, trying to bring more options like that for you guys, as well as, of course, some massive bonus here. You do have to use the link down below to register, of course, but if you do, you'll be eligible for future trading competitions, some really cool features. I'm telling you what, though, they're awesome. They have trailing stop losses. You can set multiple profit targets. Really, really cool exchange. Also, Jane, our rep, she's actually active over on our Discord too. So if you have any questions for her, just go ahead and post it on that in our support channel, and we'll go ahead and get you covered. Okay, so with Phantom, what we want to talk about is, first of all, the daily. Let's just get a quick perspective of what's going on. Everything's truly bullish right now. Money flow index is still maintaining itself quite high. We can see with volume, tremendous amount of volume here in the last 24 hours. We've got some support levels here, of course, based on volume. The most amount of volume support we can see, though, is roughly the 22 to 23 cent mark. Okay, so it's a long ways away, but just know price comes back to that level. We should see some support there. Volume does tend to do that. Keep in mind, though, the second most amount of volume in the recent past here is about 32, 33 cents. Okay, so 32, 33, what do you know? Coincidentally, the most recent high as the most amount of volume in the recent last 3 or 4 days, and that's going to reiterate itself as a support level. So 0.5 in Fibonacci is a strong, strong likelihood of holding that level. Okay. Last but not least, moving averages were above all 4. Nothing to worry about there. Take a look at the 4-hour. This is where I like to kind of focus in most cases. In fact, before we do that, let's go ahead and shift gears and just quickly look at the liquidation here for this coin and kind of see what's going on the last 12 hours. We can see that there was a decent amount of liquidation here recently between 34 and 36 cents. New levels of liquidation here. These are likely new shorts entering the market about 38, and not a lot of longs here. So this really does imply that the focus right now is a little bit more short biased. So the folks are shorting this coin more so than longing it right now, which makes sense, of course. And we do have some longs, of course, 32 cents, but for the most part, we see the largest amount of accumulation of shorts at the 38 cent mark. So keep in mind, shorts here, and then of course longs are here. Okay, so longs are looking pretty safe in the overall sense of things, but we got more short bias. All right, that is helpful to note because obviously we see a lot of volume here up this upper range. That could be a resistance level at 38 cents. So there's a decent chance we're going to need a lot more volume to be able to get through that range. Keep in mind too, if you take a look at the volume, let me go ahead and remove this here just so you kind of see. Look at that volume in the last 48 hours. Significant amount of extra candles and extra price. So that really does imply if the price does pull back, we should be in decent shape because there's not a ton of selling pressure. Even though this last 4-hour candle is red, I think that we're in pretty good shape there overall. Let me explain why here. If we take a look at the money flow index, it's still maintaining itself above 50, over under 70. Okay, as long as we're over 50 on this here, we're in pretty good shape. If you look at the last time it came down to this lower 30 range, we had the price action all the way down as low as 29 cents. That was just 2 days ago. You got to keep that in mind. That wasn't long ago. So when the price action comes low, basically the RSI stays above 50 and the money flow comes down closer to 30, that's a perfect case in point where we want to consider buying. Right now, I wouldn't say buy. It's a little too high personally, but again, I don't really recommend shorting either. However, let's look at a few key factors here. We do take a look at Elliott Wave. We can identify, of course, that the price action, if it does pull back, will come back to one of these 3 levels. And these are the most common retracement levels. Okay, so again, 0.382, initial support level there based on recent high. 0.5 is, of course, we saw the most amount of volume here in the recent past at 33 cents, equal amount of support there. And 0.618 is just kind of a normal range, kind of a worst case scenario. If it comes down that low, we could see that as well. I'm speculating 0.5 to 0.382, right in this range here is going to be a sweet spot. So 33 to 34 cents is going to be a good place to consider dollar cost averaging. I'm going to set an alert just right in the middle there so I can kind of be notified to reevaluate and see if it's worthwhile getting in. Again, this is under the presumption it comes down. There's no guarantees this is going to come down. This could literally continue higher. But truth is, we see money flow index coming down. We see the RSI tapering off. there's a few factors here letting us know that we may be due for a correction. We're also at a 9 on TD sequential here, so it makes sense for us to see another day or two's worth of consolidation and or retracement before the next leg up. Last but not least, here on this 4-hour time frame is just the moving averages. We're above all three, correction all four, so we're in really good shape there. We're going to draw out a trend line here as well, just to kind of get perspective on where things are at, so we can kind of understand quickly, what to pay attention to later. Okay, but the key takeaway here is this 0.5 Fibonacci level. We can see some significant support, or previous resistance rather, right there at this level, 33 cents. Therefore, in turn, we should experience a strong amount of support at that range. Okay, so again, to make it clear and concise, this level at 33 to 34 is kind of a sweet spot. That's an area I'm going to be paying attention to. Last thing we want to take a look at here would be the Ichimoku cloud on the hourly. And we kind of want to recognize a few things. First of all, we came up to a 9 on TD sequential, overextended. Previous overextension as well. So it's good that it's consolidating here and actually pulling back a little bit, because the next leg up will be warranted, right? If we leg up now, it'll be just fizzled out and won't be able to sustain itself. Okay, we do not want a situation where the price goes up and right back down. We want it to sustain itself, right? So if we look at the Ichimoku cloud, we can see here that it's averaging itself out between 0.382 and 0.236 there, roughly 34 to 36 cents is a close approximate, which basically implies that if the price goes sideways for the next 24 to 48 hours, it shouldn't go much lower. Okay, if the price comes down for the next 24 to 48 hours, we're going to be traveling within the cloud. That's typically a no buy zone. So you want to be careful and cautious. That's why I want to reevaluate when we get there, not necessarily just jump right in blindly. Okay. Again, there's a lot of confirmational factors, but this is telling us if you have a long position open, there's no reason to close it. We got good momentum. We're above the cloud, and lag spans free and clear. Okay. Those are 3 out of 3 indications letting us know that you do not want to short into this coin. While I typically don't recommend taking a long at this point, you'd actually be better off taking a long than a short. Okay. Another thing to recognize too, and take a look at this here, the correlation between Bitcoin and Phantom, not that awesome. In other words, it's really good because the fact that there's not a direct connection. Okay, so again, Phantom is increasing while Bitcoin increased. But look at Bitcoin pulled back right here and has gone down ever since. And Phantom is doing almost the exact opposite. While it is consolidating and pulling back a little bit, it's not half as aggressive as Bitcoin. Okay, again, important to understand those connections there. So that is looking pretty solid. So all in all, pretty decent. Last thing I want to wrap up here with, well, actually 2 things. First things first, hit that like button down below so you can help us grow the channel. Deeply appreciate that. Unfortunately, these videos don't get enough playtime here on YouTube, and we got to change that. So deeply appreciate those who have been actually helping alongside that. Also, jump on over to our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. And if you haven't already, again, be sure to jump on over to Bitunix, phenomenal exchange. Link down below if you use that eligibility, or that link rather, you'll be eligible for the rewards, as well as, of course, future trading competitions, which we're going to have once we hit over 100 members. And we're already at like 30 or 40 here in just a week. So really cool stuff. Be sure to check it out. Thanks again for watching. We have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next one.